Hello everyone, let's welcome to the series of Core Java interview questions. And our first question is, what is Java? So Java is called as high level programming language. So why it is called as high level programming language? First consider that we have the two types of programming language. The first one is high level and second one is low level. So whenever you are writing the program using any one of the programming language like C, C++, Java, VB, and there are more programming languages are available. When human being is writing a program using Java, that time this code will be understandable by only human itself. This is called as a high level programming language. So we have to execute this code into our machine by your hardware. So our machine cannot understand the high level programming language concepts. So whatever the syntax, whatever the program you have written, this will not be understandable by your hardware. So you need to convert your program from high level programming language to low level programming language. And this low level programming language, which will be called as a machine code. So in case of low level programming language, we are considering the machine code that we are writing using 8086 or 8085 program. So this is called as a low level programming language. So our Java is high level programming language. It is also called as class based object oriented programming language. So we are using the different concepts of OOP like objects, then classes, inheritance, polymorphism. So these are the different concepts are available in OOP. So that concepts we are using in object-oriented programming language for writing the Java code. So that's why Java is called as high-level class-based object-oriented programming language. So it is designed for implementing your web program, your mobile application, your desktop platform. So whenever you are writing any code using Java programming language, you can develop the applications for web, mobile, and your desktop platform. So there are different key features of your Java programming language, like it is a very simple language. It is object-oriented programming language, which has the high performance, which is secure. The architecture is neutral. The language is portable, means suppose we are moving the code from one machine to another machine, so it can be executable. It is robust and dynamic, as well as it is multi-threaded and distributed. So we can distribute our code into multiple machines, as well as we can write multiple threads into one program. So these are the different features of Java. So whenever we are writing the code on one machine, we can run it on anywhere. So that's why Java is called as write once and run anywhere. So it is used for developing the applications for web, mobile, as well as desktop. So these are the different key features of Java, like it is a high level programming language. It can be easy to read, write, and understand. It is also called as a class-based programming language. So in Java, we are using the concept of classes, concept of objects. That's why it is called as class-based. And the next is, it is called as object-oriented programming language, because we are using the concept of inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation, and many more concepts that we are using from object-oriented programming language. It is called as a platform independent. Means suppose you are writing the program on your Windows machine, the same program you can run on your Linux machine. So that's why it is called as platform independent. It is very secure because we are writing some built-in functions for providing the security to protect our applications. And it is robust in nature, means we have the strongest memory management and error handling capacity that is provided by the Java. So this will be useful for developing any web application, mobile application, as well as desktop applications. Now we will learn about how your code can be converted it into bytecode. So whenever you are writing any Java code, that time you are using the Java application like VS Code, as well as you are using your Eclipse. So these are the softwares that you are using for writing the Java code. So whenever you are creating any Java file, you can save it by using the extension .java. So you have to execute now program. First of all, what you have done, you have write the program. So after writing the program, your next step is to compile the program. So for compilation, you require Java compiler. So by using Java compiler, you can compile your code. So whenever your code will be compiled by Java compiler, that time they are checking for the errors. If the error exists, then compiler will give you the warning for correcting those errors. If you are correcting those errors and again you are compiling your code, then the Java file will be converted it into bytecode. So how this bytecode will be converted? How this bytecode will be created? Whenever you are writing the code using Java file using .java extension, your Java compiler will convert your Java code into your bytecode. Means Java is your high level programming language. So your high level programming language will be converted it into low level programming language code, that is your bytecode. And that bytecode will understand by your machine. So this machine can be any kind of machine, whether it is Mac OS, whether it is Windows OS and your Linux OS. So this machine hardware can understand whatever the code will be converted it into your bytecode. So that is called as a dot class file. So after compilation, you have to run or else you have to execute your code. So for execution, we are using over here the Java virtual machine. So Java has their own JVM, that is called as Java virtual machine. So whenever your code can be converted it into your dot class file, that is your bytecode format, this can be executable by any of the machine. That's why it is called as a platform independent. And it is called as a portable. So we can execute this Java code into any of the machine. And this code will be executed and you will get the output whatever the program you have written. So what is this Java virtual machine? So you are writing the code only one time and you are running it on anywhere with the help of this Java and your Java virtual machine. So it is the heart of your Java platform independence. So whenever you are writing the code using Java, your Java code will be compiled by your compiler. Then it will be converted it into dot class file, and using JVM, this code will be executable by different operating system. So what are this need for JVM? Why there is a requirement of JVM? If suppose JVM is not there, then how our code will be executed? Our code will not be executed. So we require the JVM for security purpose. The first we have already learned about this term, that is platform independence. Means we can write any code by using Java, and after compilation, this dot class file will be executed by our JVM, as well as it is called as a, it will handle the memory management concept, exception handling concept, and it provides the multi-threading support. So JVM makes your Java code safe, secure, and reliable by providing the control runtime environment. So our control runtime environment is our JVM. So JVM is a part of Java runtime environment that is called as JRE. That is called as Java runtime environment. So JVM is a part of your JRE. So you are writing your Java code and you are converting this Java code it into bytecode format using Java compiler, and that bytecode will be runnable by, executable by your JVM, that is called as Java Virtual Machine. And it is the interface that will be provided by your Java runtime environment, so which will execute your Java bytecode, as well as it will enable the Java program to run on any platform without recompilation. So once you have compiled your code and you have convert your Java file into your bytecode format, into .class format, and if you are moving that file from one OS to another OS, that time you don't have to compile this program again. If the program will be modified later, then it is necessary to compile it again. But if you don't have modify whatever code you have written, then there is no need to compile again. You can run that bytecode on different virtual machine. So what do you mean by native method interface? So Java will provide this native method interface concept, which will allow the Java code to call its native, that is non-Java method, which are written in language like C and C++. So some methods which will be written in C and C++ language. So whenever you are importing that concept into your Java code, so there is the concept that is native method interface concept, that is JNI. So using that interface, we are using our operations which we are performing in C and C++, that we are converting it into our Java code. So it is used when low-level operations or specific system operations will be used. That time the JNI, that is Java Native Method Interface, will work. So we are using the different libraries whenever we are writing any program. So this JVM will provide such a kind of different libraries, and we have to import that built-in libraries whenever we are writing the Java code. So some libraries are there that they are not used in our code, but it can be used as a built-in libraries, that is called as a application programming interface. So which will contain some pre-written classes and some methods. For example, if you are using the pi variable, the value for pi is equal to 3.14. And if we are suppose importing numerical mathematical functions by using the import packages, then that time we are directly using that pi variable into our program code. So these are called as built-in libraries, which will help the developer to perform the common tasks efficiently without writing the code from scratch. So we don't have to specify the value of pi over here in the program. We can directly using that variable pi, and we can use that value of that pi variable which is already defined in one of the libraries. So built-in libraries function we can take over into our Java code, that is called as method libraries. So in the Java virtual machine architecture, the first of all, we are loading our class, that is our .class extension. We are running that particular code using runtime data areas. We have the execution engine like our JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine, and using Java runtime environment, we are executing that particular code which we have written. So using that Java method interface, using Java method libraries, we are importing the different libraries which we have written in different languages. So it will provide the platform independent way of executing our Java code. So what is the difference between this JDK, JRE and JVM? So JDK means whenever you are writing any Java code, you can write using different Java applications like VS Code, Visual Studio, as well as our some softwares are there like Eclipse. So using that environment, you are writing your Java code, that is called as your JDK, which will be used for development as well as testing. When you are executing your program, you require Java runtime environment and Java virtual machine. So this Java runtime environment which will be required to run our Java application. So which consists of your JVM plus core library. Now in case of JVM, that is called as our Java virtual machine, which is called as the execution engine, and it is also called as runtime data area. So your program will be executed on your JVM. So this JVM can be executed on your Windows, on your Linux, or any other operating system, which will be used for executing your Java bytecode. So you have to prepare this concept, like what do you mean by Java, what are its features, what is the difference between JVM, JRE, and JDK. In the next video, we will learn about different object-oriented concepts, object-oriented programming language concepts, which will be used for Java programming.